Wednesday, and I did not pick up my camera once yesterday. I did a lot, but it was kind of one of those days that just kind of wanted to do my own thing and not have to worry about stopping to record. So I'll show you what we did, and then we need to go put up some fencing. So yesterday, almost before I'd even gotten the sheep out, or let the sheep out, I got a call. Good morning, boys. They're snoozing. That the lambs were out at Skip's. So I blew over there. By the time I got there, his amazing wife had already got them back in. So thankfully, that was a crisis averted. However, they must have been out again, because when my husband got home, he said that the cops had been to Skip's because of the lambs. So we hooked onto the trailer and blew over and picked up the lambs in the smaller pasture. There should be more than this, but the grass is so tall, as are the weeds, that I'm gonna have to go hunt for them. There they are, just laying in the middle of the field. I'm wrong, they're standing and eating. I thought they were laying down. There it is, there's a lot of feed in here. So originally I was gonna put these boys in this pasture, but after last year's oops with toast, no boys, none at all this year with the lambs. So I'm just gonna keep putting them in different sections and letting them eat the grass down, basically where we don't have a lot of fencing. We'll just keep moving this as needed. Guys are pretty content this morning. Okay, let's go check the sheep, make sure they aren't somewhere they aren't supposed to be. We did, let's see, it would have been day before yesterday, so Monday, or was it Sunday? My days run together really bad. One of those days, we ended up putting a couple panels up on the cattle guard where the sheep are jumping in hopes to keep them from basically getting out. So he talked to the canal company just to let them know we're not locking them out. We're just trying to keep our sheep in. They can get through. It's not an issue. We don't have it locked up or anything. My concern is we have a lot of people that go fishing back there. They're not supposed to, but they do it anyway. And so I'm afraid, one, somebody's going to steal our panels, or two, they're just going to open it and leave it open. And yes, I will be traveling every day, and bringing my sheep in at night, because my fear is if they do it sometime in the afternoon, after I've already done my second check, and we leave the sheep out, the sheep will be gone in the morning. My other concern is if somebody comes at night, opens it up, and then I don't catch it until after I've let the sheep out. So it's just another thing to add to the list of things to keep the sheep in. So let's go check sheep. So by the time we got done with the sheep last night and got home, we came out to work on the swather. He broke a guard for the, I call them teeth. They're the blades, teeth. I don't know the technical terms. Anyway, broke a guard, and we were able to get that fixed without any issue. And then he did some swathing. Probably about a third of the way done, so hopefully he can get it finished tonight, as long as his guy doesn't bail anything today. So this here is what he did on must have been Monday, and then yesterday All the pretty green is what he got done. And then that's what he's got left down there. And it goes up to the tree line. And then all the way back to that tree line. So, like I said, hopefully he can get this finished tonight. I don't need him to stop anywhere on his way home. I don't think he needs to stop anywhere on his way home. So if he can be home by 5:30 and spend, 5 hours, he should be pretty close to getting it done tonight. And I would offer to run it, but it's got a couple quirks I'm not too sure about. Maybe second cutting once he works all the bugs out, but I got fence to build, so that's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. Okay, so today's fun-filled project is to get this fence through these weeds, across the ditch, through all of that, to this fence that you can't hardly see. So yes, there will be a lot of cussing involved, but our sheep are starting to eat the thistles up here. So usually when they're up here, that's when they tend to go through the fence down to the creek and into the neighbors on the other side. So in an effort to prevent that this year, I'm basically going to put a Band-Aid on it. I'm not a huge fan, neither me or my husband, of just throwing something up in hopes to keep the sheep in. But this whole area is going to get revamped. This old chute system that we've got over here is all going away. Part of that's going to come into this field, or into this, yeah, I guess it's a field. But yeah, so this fencing here is all pretty much going to go away. Everything in here is going to go away. And we just have a lot of work in this area. It is not a high priority. So it definitely won't get done this year. So thus the Band-Aid. We're going to slap this fence up, tie it a million times if we have to, just to keep it up. And then maybe next year, maybe the year after, we'll start figuring out this section of how we want to do stuff. We also want these pens that we used to have as our breeding pens. Years and years ago, when we only had 50 head of sheep, we just threw the ram in and away he went. But now we've torn down fences, we've had renters in there. It needs a little work. So that is also on the list, just not now. Again, maybe next year or this fall. We'll see. We'll see how far we get. But I'm going to start by dragging this fence across to over here, and hope I don't break something like me. So once I get in these trees, this is where it gets a little tricky. So right through here, this fence is all gone. They have a highway right down there. And seeing through there, all the wool, where they're just going right through the fence. So I can block this side off if I just tack it to this tree, and then I'll have to figure out the other side, or I can cut this wire and then tack it up to that branch. So if I tack it up to this tree, it should hold there at least until the undergrowth is gone. Once they eat through all of this, they may find another hole. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and tack this to the tree. I don't like doing it that way, but I don't know where the chainsaw is. I don't like chainsaws. I'm not very good with them. My husband would prefer me not to use one. So I I either have to wait for him to come home and cut down this tree, which is a whole process and we don't have time for because we're trying to get the hay down, or I just, ow, ugh, thistles. That's the other thing I need to do today is I need to do some spraying. And I totally lost my train of thought. Okay, I'm just gonna tack this up and keep moving because this is really a pain to get it through all these thistles. I've only got maybe 25 feet pulled over so far. And I'm starting at the wrong end, but this is the side I was able to get moved. So we're gonna work backwards. Okay, I made it past the trees, or at least the last two trees. Now into the thistle forest I go. This is not gonna be fun. And then we have spots like this that I'm gonna need to get a hook and tack it into the ground because there is just no way between the runoff and the sheep going through here. It has just, I mean, it's, you can see from here all the way down, they've made a heck of a trail. So I will need to make some pins, and then we'll hook it across there and drive it into the ground, and then that'll pull that down. Hey Pete. And then we got spots just like this. 2 wires on top and that's it. So do our best. What you doing, kitty? I am not sure what it is about the thistles that the sheep like. But while I've been putting in this fence, these two have been just mowing down on about 3 of them in this section. And they're weird because they only like them in 2 stages. When they're really small or when they're really tall and they start getting their blooms. Anything in between and they will ignore until it gets almost too tall for them to eat. But they go at it. And there is a bunch of grass behind me. They just prefer the thistles. Okay, that took a lot longer today than I was expecting it to. But we're done. Okay, no, we're not done. We're done with that piece. It didn't quite reach to the end. I ended up having to stop here. It needs to go up to this other post. And it's like 6 o'clock. I need to feed. I offered to swath the hay today, and I haven't got that far yet. So I think that will be my day tomorrow, is swathing, because I did not make it in to get fuel. And yeah, this just took way longer than I was expecting it to. But I have this piece up. I need a short piece for over in this section here, which is fine because I have a couple short pieces out back that I took off that other fence. And then I've still got a long ways to go the other direction. But this at least gets part of it taken care of. And I was going to say tomorrow, but now it'll be the next day. I will get hopefully this done. And tomorrow will be all about swathing. Ned is fed. Sheep are in. And our neighbor's cows are a little cranky. Look at the sky. Not really one for sky pictures, but it sure is pretty tonight. Good morning. I am running a little late this morning. I'm about a half hour later than I would like to be, but we didn't get home till almost midnight last night, and that was after I spent all day fencing. He worked, then he went and stacked hay. I went and picked him up, and then we had to get fuel for the swather and go get his car and all the things. So I slept in. Just let the sheep out They are wandering past me right now, and then I will go check fencing and then probably start swathing, which will be an adventure of its own because I have not run that swather in several years, and I only did it once before. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes. Well, we got it started. That's the most important part. Now I have to figure out how to make it go. It just has been so long, I honestly have no clue. There's Mama dear. I hope to God baby's not in here somewhere. Just that patch left. And we are done. Yay. Not perfect, but it'll do. So I can check another thing off the list of things that I now know how to do. I think my husband's running a conspiracy. But I actually like swathing. It was kind of therapeutic. Or something like that. Two more Bambis. Never did find the baby, but did find a buck. They're too far away for me to tell what they are, but I need to get them over there. So we're gonna slowly head that way.